of their adventure themselves into a more or less. Oh, well, looking at the situation at hand, you decided to go and train yourselves up a little bit more. Some with arcane knowledge, others with learning a new skill of the trade, and others learning a new song and trying to harmonize with the vibration patterns of the world itself, more or less. With everyone doing an okay job, just no one immediately learned it on the get go. Your team was eventually able to take care of a lot of these issues on the first day of, well, your free time. Along this free time, and then after this day, soon after, welcome, Vox. Along with this free time and this following day, soon after, your team took a little bit of rest, serviced, having some fun time with a bartender slash owner. And Kaithal learning new tricks of the trade with mechanical constructs, and I think Talon was getting drunk. Toan decided to figure out what was going on with the little structured form of the uh, cemetery. For some reason, I couldn't remember the word cemetery, and was eventually discovered after everyone reconvened that there was something hidden inside. After turning into a giant bear and then solving a giant puzzle, the puzzle was put back into place and then reformed into the ball. And what was left over inside of the puzzle was a very dense chakram, a circular blade with a very sharp edge and a very interesting pattern to it. It is its original point seems to be of the Feywild, and its own telekinetic abilities seem to help you out in trying to carry the thing. Now, with this in tow, you're not exactly sure why it was there, and or the history of why it was there, and that is where you left off.
Well, I wasn't expecting that. Should we go check some of the other points of interest in the city? There may be other puzzles to solve. Who knows? I was hoping to find some kind of indication of why this place was important and whether or not it could stave off the storms. They may just be important for other reasons. I think it's worth investigating just in case.
Tatum kind of just following you around, humor you, and to kind of do something while he was drinking, and just like, wow, he's like, this is a lot more than I expected. But yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Like, okay, let's do this.
The other points in the city that seem to have some significant information on them would be the statue at the Messenger's Hall, uh, the book, not the book itself. The book itself is able to be moved and transferred. The podium of the book is another key source, and one other place that is restricted against you. Well, not against you. You're just not allowed in until the town is evacuated into the tunnel systems.
Should we split up, see what we can find?
If you'd like to, yeah. That's seems like a good use of our time and skills.
Where were the places again?
The messenger hall, basically where the messenger sent out messages to the kingdom's areas itself. Once again, the library as well as the podium itself, that the book of the tome of basic infinite spells is there, and an accessible one because you do not have access to it due to the fact that it's underground for emergencies only.
How do we know where these points of interest are?
You saw like most of them, honestly. You saw the one in the cemetery, you saw the podium at the library, and you saw the statue when you were learning your spells.
So there could potentially be more.
You can ask, but you saw those.
Who will we be able to ask? Hey, Tolman, since there was a point of interest here with that had this chakram, do you think there might be other places within the city?
I'm not sure. Morrow, is there other places that might be of interest around the city beyond those that we've already visited? And I'll list them.
Yeah. The podium itself might be of interest. The angel statue in the messenger's hall could be useful. They are similar in nature to the cemetery sphere. Well, now that I realize puzzle, similar in nature. The only other one that I would consider would be the maze runner underneath us, but that is not allowed until needed to be used.
Well, I certainly do not want to risk impeding any kind of safety measure in the city, but perhaps I will go and visit this angel. A book podium for an arcane library is not exactly something that I would think I would be able to figure out.
I'll also go to the angel podium as well.
Right. Well, he tells you the directions. You guys have already been there, so you just basically get the same information. The only other information I do have would be perhaps the baths. Not the baths itself, but the tile system in the baths are ancient, old. It's just we use them for a bath. It's very large. In fact, the entire town can use it if they decide to, but rarely few people do. It's an inside structure, and well, there's really no privacy inside.
I guess we'll go and give it a look-see later.
I could use a bath. It's been a couple of weeks.
I could definitely use a bath. I long for a bath.
Where do you want to use?
I think Service asked Taylor, where do you want to go?
Sorry. I was sideways. I don't know, to the baths. I guess maybe I have the bath right now. I guess we don't have to take a bath.
We have 2 votes for
We'll do
Angel
that.
Statue, and then there's the podium, the maze runner system underground that is not accessible to you because, no catastrophe or necessity needs warrant for it. And then the bath tiles specifically.
Well, I'll go with the group. Let's go.
All right.
We'll take a bath later.
That's what they all say.
Where are you hanging out?
Honestly, I've never seen a D&D group ever go to the baths. Oh, Johnny's not there. He's technically at work right now. Boop. Entering into the area, servers, you are able to discover that the entire area does seem to be lively and spoiling and broiling. I don't know why I said it that way. But you are able to discover the statue there. Tobin, Talon, and Kaithal, you all soon follow after. The area itself is moving and it is bustling. But no one is technically stopping you, and I think I accidentally moved Tobin to the back.
Yeah, he in the back.
Hello, I am here. Can everybody hear me?
Hello!
Hello.
Welcome, brother. Welcome, brother.
Thank you all.
Okay, short recap. You guys basically are starting to trials to sing, to make music, to dance. I'm just kidding. Well, one of them, just kidding.
Wow.
You guys learned part of the song. Kaithal, I rolled for you. You rolled well. But you haven't learned the song yet. You still have today and tomorrow to try. Other than that, you also discovered a very heavy magical item that belongs to the Feywild, and no one really knows why it's there or what's going on. And the group basically decided, hey, should we check out the other areas of interest that might prove useful? Everyone said, yeah, sure, why not? There is the angel statue where you're currently at, the book podium inside the library itself, the tile system in the bathwork house, and then the maze runner system underground that is not accessible to you because it's not needed and or is not warranted. Basically, you don't have access, and you're not permitted to do so unless given access.
Gotcha.
And you're here now.
All right. I'm trying to get into the. Okay, hold on.
Mhm.
I'm launching it right now, so I apologize.
No problem.
Um,
After
but
entering,
I am ready to go.
all right. After entering this area, you do find the statue itself. The messengers are working around you, but no one's really interacting or like asking for something. You ask one of them, "Hey, can we check out your statue?" One of them nods, and then they simply leave. The statue has been there for quite some time. You're given this information. It's not really that hard to get. It has been here since the town's beginning itself. More or less, the weathering of time has cracked the bottom itself, but the statue itself has not given any wear and tear due to time. There is no like peeling of paint. There is no cracking of the skin of the statue. I don't know, stone of the statue. It does look like stone, maybe marble, but there is no faults within the statue itself, just the base.
I like to do divine sense when I am at the statue.
Right.
Also, what is it? A statue of again?
The statue
Sure.
itself is a more or less Asimar with white wings behind it. The clothing it has on them seems to be more or less a tunic of gold filigree on it, with a gold, more or less, crown adorning its blonde hair. The eyes itself seem to have a strange red hue to them, and it does seem to carry a quill in one hand, a piece of paper in the other, and where the quill is, there is also a hidden dagger behind the quill.
You see.
Divining sense and
Yeah.
looking into it, you can tell that there is location of any celestial fiend or undead within. There is residue energy here. It's not like it's technically an object, not a person. You definitely detect something, some residual magic, perhaps, but it's not a. It's technically not a celestial, a fiend, or undead. You just feel something on the statue.
Guys, there's definitely something on this statue. I'm not sure what, but there's definitely something here. I guess I'll give a look around the statue area to see if I can find some kind of puzzle or something.
Go ahead and yes.
I was gonna say I'm gonna do the same thing, just kind of check around the statue.
Yeah. All right. Kythal servers, go ahead and roll investigation. Investigating the area, Kythal, you more or less look at the cracks and then realize, oh right, we're looking at the statue, and look back up. In the meantime,
that sounds about right.
Cerberus looks at the statue and looking around it. You can tell that the podium itself is worn and torn. Not Cerberus. Kythal clearly saw that part. But looking at the statue itself, you do see that the dagger itself seems to be not moving, but movable. The quill and the paper itself don't seem to be moving whatsoever. In fact, they look as if, like statues in the real world, like are embedded or cut out of the same piece of stone. I think marble stone.
Hey, Talon. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and grab the dagger. I doubt it's going to be harmful.
Everyone go ahead and roll initiative. Wait, Cerberus. What's your layman again?
I forget. I want to say lawful neutral.
I'm going to check your character sheet just in case. You don't have it on there. Well, since you don't have it on there, everyone go ahead and roll.
It is what you decide. I mean, whatever his actions have been thus far, I guess, DM. Whatever alignment he is.
I think this is funnier.
Got it. I agree.
All right.
I wasn't expecting a fight. I didn't think it was going to happen.
Me either. I
I
don't
thought
see.
I,
Go ahead.
I thought I said before lawful neutral before.
I could have sworn you last time you said lawful evil.
I think
It
you
was
did
either
say
that.
that.
It was either that or neutral. I couldn't remember which.
Yeah. I guess
What
after
are you
today,
gonna
write it down. But this is funnier. Anyways,
So what happened?
well, as soon as you begin to move the dagger itself, the statue itself doesn't seem to be moving or breaking apart. In fact, as you remove the dagger itself, it shines and gleams around you. It then bursts, not into flames, but into a holy white light of celestial energy. And then in that energy is concocted a strange, muscular angel-like structure with black or gray wings behind them, looking directly at you. As this so happens, it is, well, you don't know what it is, but it does speak in Celestial. Do you speak it?
Yes, actually, I do. It's one of my languages.
All right. And then in Celestial, it simply states towards the entire group, not just you. But it points towards you because you have the dagger in your hand. It didn't say I'm just looking for a Badam song. Looking towards you, it does state in Celestial. And so it begins. Whatever that means to you. Towan, you're up first. You can tell that this brooding angel-like being brings out a broadsword directly aiming towards you all.
Is there
Oh,
anyone,
great.
Is there anyone else in here beyond my party?
Yeah, like I told you there were people working around, but as soon as, they see this, they basically scatter.
I was going to yell out to them when I could to run.
Some messenger while running going, yeah, it's kind of what we do! And they all sprint away.
Okay.
Severus, what are you doing
Uh,
again?
I didn't think that this was going to happen.
That's fair.
Come on, time to
Uh,
join the chat, please.
It didn't happen when Tolwyn got the stupid disc.
Hush, we're under attack.
Colin will step forward, reach out, and cast Protection from Evil and Good on Severus.
All right.
No, he deserves it. Is it going after him?
It looks like it's going after the entire team.
And it did point at him. So there is that.
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah. So this does protect against Celestials.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so there it's. I moved up. I did an action.
Mhm.
I'm going to step back again. And if I cast a spell as an action, can I cast a spell as a bonus action as well?
As long as it's a bonus action spell.
Okay, I will cast Shillelagh on the Weapon of Life.
Sounds good.
That's my turn.
Talon.
Oh. You guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
My phone was like cut off. I'm back. Okay, my turn.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna start singing. La la la. Okay, play. Start dancing. The little blade song. Does he look? Does he look like he's trying to hurt us?
He looks gruff, tough, buff, and intimidating. Pointing towards Cerberus, anyone else can, if they know Celestial, he basically stated, so it is time. And then pointed towards your group with their weapon.
Okay. I feel like he's threatening us.
Yeah, it sounds, it looks like it, at the
I like
very
it.
least.
I don't like it. Okay, just checking. Well, I'm gonna start dancing his way. La-di-da-di-da. I'm gonna stab his motherfucking ass.
All right, you begin to
Um,
groove your way up the stairs and leading towards the main stage.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead and attack.
Okay, I was like, okay. I did something.
Yes,
Well,
you moved.
I did. I did do it. So wait, have we learned that the spell we've been trying to learn yet, or no? I
No,
forgot that.
like before, you guys learned partially parts of it, but haven't fully learned, much less mastered it.
Okay. Then I'm going to cast this spell as I'm dancing all around him. Woo-hoo. It's like, woo. You could have like so much movement. I'm just like, yeah, I had it. And then I stab his ass too. I don't know if he makes the save or not.
Okay.
But
I believe. So you're using fire action, main action, and your second attack as an attack.
yeah, with my blade song with Rurikon, because I cast a spell.
Mhm.
I'm casting a spell, a level 1 spell or higher, so I get just a free attack with
Nice.
at the end of the spell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, 28 natural does hit.
Both of them. Got him. Oh, sorry. Right, like that. So garbage.
All
Did
right.
you He needs to make a dex save, by the way.
And he needs to make what now?
A dex save.
All right.
Fairy fire.
For a spell I cast.
Plus
I thought it would have
5.
mattered before. You're adorable.
Oh yeah. The strange angel is dexterous, very movable and very lively. They're able to move around, but not toward your blade. As they move around, you take this advantage to strike in and strike heavily into them. For 11 plus 5, 17 points of damage. Okay. They do look hurt. It did hurt them, but it did not kill them, unfortunately.
That's all I can do. I use because my action, my action and bonus action.
Mhm.
But I'm dancing and singing around. I'm like,
All right.
fuck you, fuck you, Angel,
Kaithal.
fuck you.
All right. I am going to run back over this way, and I am going to have Darak run up that way, and then I am going to fire my crossbow with my what's it called? What is that? I don't know, sharpshooter or whatever. And so firing at him, probably missing him. Oh, did he get fairy fire or did he miss that?
He saved, unfortunately.
He saved? Okay,
Yeah.
so then I missed that anyway. So there you go. Oh, I should have a second attack. So I will do the same. Okay, and hopefully my dog can bite a little bit better. So my bonus action is the dog bite, and that probably doesn't make it either.
With a few crossbows in the area, you're trying to hit directly. But, you know, Tannen's kind of dancing everywhere, so you like keep moving your crossbow so you don't hit him, causing them to fly too far away. While also dancing, Tannen accidentally bumps your hound, causing them to miss and bite the air.
Also, it
Okay.
looks really good. So it's distracting.
Kaithal, anything else?
No, that is the end of my turn.
All right. Cerberus.
No, I guess I just have my. I'll give Severus like my owl. I just have my owl like help Severus or something on his first attack because or my falcon. Because
Alright.
he's not doing anything.
Cerberus, you gain advantage on your first strike.
I will bring out the Blade of Death
Right.
and attack.
21 does hit. All right. You strike into the creature without too much of an issue, and with blade in hand, strike fiercely inside, but not quite dead.
I look at him in the eyes and I speak in Celestial. surrender or perish.
Is that like a persuasion? It sounds like an intimidation.
Oh, it's intimidation, all right.
Alright, Cerberus, go ahead and roll with disadvantage. Oh, pretty good. Looking at this, they contemplate it. Man. Like, is this Timmy going against his creed? Would he? I mean, you rolled well. I don't want to, like, take this from you.
If he's underneath like an oath or something, then you could just say that his face looked conflicted, but then he had to get changed to a resolved expression, and because of some emotion or something, to show that to me.
I like the idea. I'm going to run with it a little bit differently. Looking towards you and contemplating the thought patterns behind it, they do state in Celestial, I do not mind dying, but my job is superseding what I desire. I must save and protect those that did not dare destroy the sanctum of the statue. Although I do commend your abilities.
So is he saying that he has to defend anybody harming the statue?
Harming the statue, defending the statue, basically. And they stated defending them rather than it or the statue itself. They didn't use the word statue.
But we're not trying to harm the statue.
Well, you
I'll
already
say
used an intimidation.
And then you tried to steal shit from it, though.
I
Yeah.
was investigating.
You're a fucking dirty
Okay.
thief, is what you are. you fucking-
I was investigating a thing.
Cerberus, you were investigating, but the way it looked is as if you were defiling by robbing.
I can't rob something in the middle of the public.
Ah, yes,
I'll-
you can.
Well, you can technically do it, but it's not exactly smart.
Yeah.
Anyways, if I have any more seconds left to speak, I'll tell him we are investigating the statue. We're not trying to harm it.
Mm. Roll persuasion. Flat roll. 15, that's pretty good. Looking towards you, it does give it pause. And you rolled well both times. It nods. So much for combat. As soon as that happens, you see the creature, the angel, whatever this thing is, fade away and turn back or turn into the blade once more. You're not exactly sure what it is, but you can tell that it's housed within the blade.
I sheathe my weapon back, and I will tell everybody what it was that I figured out or found out. So apparently, I'm not 100% certain, but who or whatever it is that's inside this dagger is apparently underneath an oath of some kind to protect the statue. I'm not sure why, though. I won't pocket the dagger. Instead, I'll just hold on to it until we're done
Give
investigating.
it back, you thief. Just dirty
I'm
thief.
not taking it, I said.
You're a thief. That's right.
I'm trying to investigate the bloody statue, and it's in the way. And I don't want to lose it if I place it on the ground. So I will say in Celestial to the dagger, I will not take you. I will place you back once we're finished investigating the statue without harming it.
You don't get like, okay, or sure, whatever. This dagger remains silent. But you know it's there. Maybe you just can't speak in dagger form. But looking at the statue itself, as reminded beforehand, the statue itself seems to be near flawless. It has no structured imperfections. Other than the dagger itself, it seemed as if carved out of nature itself, but with no imperfections, no slight cranial movements. And Cerberus, I'm going to use your last roll of investigation beforehand. There is quite literally no pattern, which is a problem. Oftentimes when, I'm going to say, Taylor, you would know this. Cerberus, do you tell the group?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to say, Taylor, you would know this. Kaithal would know it as well, but I'm gonna say Kaithal is there, and now he knows it. Looking at the statue
Oh,
itself,
okay.
and looking at the artwork of various degrees, and Kaithal looking at your own works and how things are made, the statue itself has no imperfections, much like when tools go into stone or when artwork is formed. The groove patterns, the structured form, that type of thing is always present. Maybe very, very slightly in the master level, but it's always there as long as you know what to look for. Kaithal and Talon, due to your own upbringings and due to your own works, Kaithal works, Talon upbringings, there is none of that.
Is
Uh,
that somehow important, isn't it?
I believe the statue was not made by a person. Um, there is no line. There is no markings to indicate this was carved out of anything.
Hey, Tolwyn, you have the ability to sense emotions, right? Can you see if there's anything inside?
Let me try. I'm kind of following along the same line of thought as you, Severus. I wonder if this is a statue. And I will cast Sense Emotion at it.
You cast sense emotion around you, and around you get Talon's wobbly emotions, Kaithal's thought process and logical patterns, Cerberus is bloodthirsty, and then contemplation of protection, your own, and then the animals. Looking at the statue itself, if any of those are wrong, you can totally just say no, you're wrong. Then the statue itself, you sense love. Not towards anyone or anything, just a emotion of passion, of strength, of jubilation, and of passion. I think I said passion twice.
This is alive. And the embodiment of the emotion of love and a zeal for it.
Look,
Hmm,
looking at this information, everyone can go ahead and roll insight. If you want to. You don't have to.
I'm curious, is this a being put into stone, or is it more along the line like how the dragon was? Or is this more along the lines of maybe a conduit that is somehow utilizing the concept of love and its zeal?
I guess Cerberus, you can roll Arcana instead of Insight.
I'll do insight, I already did it.
Oh, did you? Yes, you did. Cerberus and Kaithal, looking at the statue itself, looking at its surroundings, and looking at its prevailing emotions. Yeah, this would explain why a massive amount of bards hovered into this area and stayed here and made a town. The prevailing emotion of love, of warmth, of jubilation. Yeah, typical bard things. Combining it and infusing it perhaps into the statue itself or into its environment around it, that would prevail an emotion of gleeful joy. Looking around the town, there is no mayor, or at least no active mayor. They might have one of title, but you haven't seen someone around campaigning for their own spiel, wandering and taking care of anything. You've seen the town lovingly give, protect, enjoy themselves here and there. No like petty crimes here and there, like pickpockets here and there, but nothing so violent that would warrant no guards. Except for, I guess, you guys, Shade and his crew, and maybe like one or two people that are strong here. The statue itself seems to be a symbol of this town itself due to the amount of love it might prevail around it. Exude around it, sorry. Looking at this, the statue itself might be a living thing, but you're not exactly sure. If it is a living thing, then this creature or entity, based off of Cerberus' own language on how the angel spoke, likely a being rather than a statue, then there's two possibilities of what happened. One, something similar to Talon's own father, like turning into or surrounding itself in chrysalis crystal to preserve it, could have happened. Or two, something petrified it and kept it in this state. willfully or not.
But the angel. Wait a minute. How is there an angel here? It looked like an angel, right? I look back at the dagger for a moment. Okay, that's kind of weird. How is this here? My mind reeled for a moment with that thought in mind. Then I look back up. So the angel apparently wants to protect the people that live with this statue, like a symbiotic relationship, it seems. So the angel sounds like to me like how the dragon was when we left. Does that sound similar to you guys?
Almost like a guardian is what you're saying.
Yes. Instead, go on.
Go ahead.
Oh, instead of the dragon being inside the statue, it's not free or active. It's more like this time the dragon, or in this case the angel, is free and active and protecting this place, supposedly. So if that's the case, it kind of makes me think that the next storm that's coming might be more important than we might realize, at least this time.
Well, I mean, the one that we face seems to be guarding this larger one. So I believe there's at least two of them here. I would say that this statue, as it appears to be anyways, may be perhaps more important than we realize.
Well, the base of the statue is apparently crumbling. Perhaps maybe more looking at its base might hold the answer. Maybe in a way the statue isn't exactly what we're supposed to be looking at. Maybe it's what the statue is affecting. If that makes any sense.
Well, let's investigate. I'll be
I
right back,
will-
guys.
Okay, I'll put the dagger back.
You put the dagger back. Nothing happens. No
Didn't
one comes
expect-
out. No one kills you.
I didn't expect anything to happen. I was more like keeping my word and stuff.
I know. I'm just letting you know.
I will try to look around the base of the statue, and if I don't see anything, I'll try looking along from the floor up to the walls to see if I can recognize either some symbol, an indention, maybe paths for energy to flow through.
Anyone
Something-
that's investigating, go ahead and roll an investigation.
Okay. Back.
Okay, I do want to investigate, but I want to see if there's any way underneath this statue. Not by where we are, but it's up on rise or up on stairs or whatever. So I want to see if maybe around the sides of the stairs or anything, if there's any kind of way to get underneath it. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm
Okay.
particularly looking for.
You can
If I can
climb-
even find.
You can spider climb up the walls to look at it from that.
Oh
way.
crap! I can. That's true. I forgot.
Yeah, you guys still have the boots because you saved the town. Okay.
I make mention about the spider climb because sometimes if you take a higher perspective, you could see like a diagram of what certain shapes
Yeah.
that were not.
That's actually
Service. Looking at the investigation area, looking at the podium, and looking at its surrounding walls, you can tell that the podium itself doesn't seem to be a part of the statue itself. Either it was placed there or it stayed there, and then the podium itself is cracking due to the fact that it's likely not made of the same material. Although it does look similar to the same structured form, it is not the same, and therefore the weathering and the cracking has happened. Looking at that, there seems to be nothing really apparent currently. Towen investigating the area and looking around, the same things, same patterns seem to follow you as soon after. Looking at these, you can determine that podium, statue, different things, they might be separated or possibly able to be separated, but other than that, you really get nothing else. Kaito, since you specifically stated looking around the area and then looking up into the sky, down, you can tell that there's no like secret passageway underneath the statue to uncover, I don't know, a secret Illuminati plan to destroy the world. At least not in this statue. But when you go and spider climb onto the roof, basically more or less, and look down, with a 9, you do see a pattern along the ground itself. At the epicenter is the statue, but you can't quite make out the pattern. With a 9, you can tell it's there, you just can't really make it out.
All right, I will yell down to the guys down there, to the party down there, to look at the pattern or try to trace the pattern on the floor. It's on the floor, you're saying, right?
Yes.
Okay, try to trace the pattern on the floor around the statue rather than the statue itself. And then I'm going to get down and start helping out.
I will try giving advantage to whoever has the highest investigation.
All right. According to this, I think it's you.
Oh,
Unless Talon wants to roll. Up to you.
I guess I'll roll.
All right. Nice.
There you go.
Discover the secrets of the statue. I know who made it and why. I discover everything.
Looking at the statue itself, you can tell that the pattern along the ground and the epicenter of the statue itself seems to ring of that of a draconic symbol spell structure. Similar to how when people write spell scrolls, but in a very wide net range. The creature or thing in the epicenter is the thing targeted, and the spell itself seems to be the spell similar or known as petrification. This type of spell would petrify the object inside to keep it preserved and alive until something would be unpetrified or unpetrify it. That being the case, though, the object and/or creature inside would remain alive but unconscious to a state of catatonic state or structure. Once given form, the cells and everything else would continue to move forwards as if time continued on from that point, from the point they were petrified. It seems that this statue, air quotes, was the thing that was petrified was done on purpose. For one reason
Good.
or another.
Let's see.
And you can also tell that the dagger and the statue are not as one.
But the dagger, it was charged to guard the statue.
Correct. By who or
So-
what, you don't know.
So can one use the dagger to break the enchantment?
You don't know. You know that the way to petrify someone would be like some creatures are able to do it. Along your studies, you've seen this happen. You've also seen other people do this, but not that often. There are alchemical ways of breaking this apart or finding a creature that can naturally do this and using its either blood or poison or sometimes eyes to make a concoction to unpetrify the body.
Could we go to the library next and see if they have information?
Yeah, I suppose. Do you guys?
Sorry. Is the spell still like actively petrifying this thing, or is it like it went off and targeted this thing and now it's done, and we'd have to like recover? Like if we wanted to unpetrify it, we'd have to do something to like cure that, basically.
The second one. It's one and done, and then the pattern still remains,
Right. Okay.
weathered by time.
Probably a glyph of some kind.
Very strange. I wonder why it was done. I mean,
Could it
this
be
appears to
smart?
be some kind of monument to this statue, but was it built after this was done? Is it part of it? Did this creature come here willingly and do this?
Could it not have been done similar for the dragon that we met before?
Oh, possibly, but it's difficult to know.
Then I think we should go to the library. They might have more information.
Forget to put the guardian back.
I
before
did
we
put the
leave.
knife back.
Yeah, he put it
Knife
back.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that part. Sorry.
I think he went away for a bit. All right. Do you guys head back? to the library.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna take Talon's silence as a yes.
Vera, good to see that you're here. We actually have a couple of questions for you.
Sure.
Thank you for your time. We were doing some investigation in the cemetery. Actually, Tolwyn, why don't you take that over, since it was your discovery?
Oh, there was the giant ball was actually a puzzle, and we opened it, and there was what appears to be an ancient weapon of Fey origin.
Chakra.
And then we put the puzzle back together and put the rock back. But yes, it appears to have been like a chest of some kind, but a spherical puzzle. It was kind of fun to figure it out. I had to be a bear.
I bet, especially the bear part. Definitely enjoyable. Although this is the
Moreover,
this is the first time hearing of it. If I had to say, someone was protecting it, but due to the large mass, it required someone of intellect, skill, or talent. I guess you just use your brute strength to figure it out. So well done, I suppose.
thank you. As I said, we were overseen by Morrow to ensure that nothing untoward happened. I just thought it might be an interesting tidbit. Maybe you would know something about the weapon, or be able to find something about it, or know where the giant rock came from.
I could perhaps divine its energy. Do you have it with you now?
Yes, I gestured to Kaithal to show her the weapon.
And I hand over the weapon.
All
Or I
right.
lay it on the table.
Okay, you lay it on the table, and immediately the table cracks and falls down to the ground.
Oh, sorry about that. I'll fix that.
5 minutes later, after some mending, you then put it on the ground, and then Vera goes, wondering why it broke, and then when trying to pick it up, realizes why it broke. The chakram itself weighs 500 pounds, pretty heavy. Looking at this, all right, bending down it is. She bends down to divine the energy written in the weapon itself, and yeah, that's pretty good. From what I can tell, this energy is not one of arcanic structure, if you understand what I mean. Not like a spell, but more like a binding. Like some energy was housed in, but of natural means. Similar to that of, well, if you know them, they're called sprites. Similar to fairies, but a little bit more mischievous.
Yes, I know a couple of sprites. I've met them anyway. They're not really friends, so to speak.
It's alright, I have plenty of friends that I grew up with that are kind of still mischievous. Connie just looks at her. Who do you mean by that? You. Yeah, that's fair. Currently stomping on a fire that she accidentally caused. Anyways. This creature or entity housed inside the blade should work with you so long as you have a connection to it, either by its own affinity or your own nature. I don't know what or how this happened, but I do know that it did happen.
That's fascinating.
Most people call this a living weapon. It's the first one I've seen.
So
It's amazing.
Know its connection to perhaps the city, or why it was placed where it was?
I'm afraid not. If I have more context clues on the history of this city itself, I might be able to discern something, but it'll take some time. Maybe a few hours, give or take. We come here from time to time because it's the only podium the book likes to source its energy from. Other than that, we have never really looked into the history of this town before. Never had to.
On that note, one of the other things we wanted to ask you about was perhaps one of the reasons this town even exists. We went to the Messenger's Hall, and that giant angel statue, I don't think it's a statue. I think it's a petrified creature.
Well, I'll be damned. Maybe we should be asking questions about this city. The statue itself is known as the Messenger of the Gods. For what reason? It was believed as if someone was giving its blessings towards and to people. I guess it meant more literally this time.
Okay, like, seriously, you guys, like, signs from the gods everywhere we go, literally came to a city where the messenger of the gods is currently petrified as a statue.
Yeah,
Like-
it seems to be very similar to what happened with the dragon before. I'm getting some weird parallels.
Do you know if there's any books here that might discuss the origins of the city or its history, why the messenger is petrified, whether or not it was of its own volition or against its will, whether it was trapped? We know that it was at the center of a massive spell.
It's also being guarded from damage by another angel-like being in the form of a dagger.
I would have to look into things again. I suppose I should be asking questions now that I think about it. But I suppose I can look into it, or you all can look at it yourselves. Again, it was not a topic I've ever needed to dig into.
Oh, one of the reasons why we're trying to dig in is because of what the previous city, another chaos storm was coming around, and apparently the statue that was there was as a shell meant to hold a small storm dragon, wasn't it? Or cloud dragon? I think it was the cloud dragon.
You told us all to shade,
Cloud-
so go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just saying, I think it was a cloud dragon also.
Yes, it was. You guys told us all to shade, so Vera does state. Yes, our companion Shade did tell us this. Much like the Storm Dragon and much like he himself, inheritedly, are considered guardians. They are beings or entities that could manipulate the world in a different form or function. Shade himself is not really a friend to magic. If you have anything magical, I suggest not allowing him to touch it. Shade offhandedly does state, "Come now, I've only destroyed 1 or 2 of your magical items. It was 7, and they are expensive." Anyways, you can tell that this has been a gripe of hers for quite some time. But she does state, regardless of that, they do seem to be entities or creatures that are quite strong. If this statue is, well, the first, I suppose, guardian of this city, I would advise caution, as well, if they don't really know what's currently going on and you, I don't know, suddenly wake them up, don't maybe perhaps stand with blades in hand and ready to draw blood.
Well, this is very good advice, actually.
On that note, I gotta go a little early, guys. You guys keep having fun. Everything's fine. I just gotta get some shit done here, and I gotta bow a little early. But you guys have a good night, and happy 4th of July for any of you filthy traitorous Americans like myself. Okay.
Go get some rest, Fox.
Yeah. Take it easy. Bye.
Later.
Let's see. We are kind of thinking that it might be a defender, since it's filled with love, apparently, and a zeal to give love, whatever that might mean.
Not quite sure, but that would explain why a bard town came up here and never really left. If you'd like, I can look into it, but again, it'll take a few hours.
Please do. We're not really sure what all this means. And
I
if
would
you
be
don't-
happy to assist.
Yes, if we can be of any assistance, we will also look. Do you mind if we also look at the podium as well to see if there's any kind of connection? We were thinking that there might be.
I suppose. Just don't touch my book. Right now it is charging.
We will not touch the book. Just look at the podium.
Of course. They move to the side while they go investigate books. Tolwyn, if you decide to help them, you can go ahead and roll perception to look for books that might have similar topics on what you guys have been currently discussing. You have advantage because you're helping people, and people are helping you in turn.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Talon. He's more of a book person, so he's gonna go help Connie on his end. And Kaithal, are you investigating the podium as well?
No, actually, I wanted to kind of check out that chakram a little bit more and see if I can understand more of that. Actually, to be honest, I don't even know if you explained anything about it the first time when everybody found it.
So when picking up the chakram again, you go, right, this is super heavy. The chakram itself is able to be called back to you when you attack. Basically, it sinks in and basically bumps back and hits and comes back to your hand. It's a recall weapon. That being the case, though, it does 3d6 plus 5 points of damage. It is very strong, but it's also very heavy, which explains why it's so strong. It has been and comes from the Feywild, and as you know now, is made out of some type of pixie magic or an embedded pixie into the chakram itself. Known as a living weapon, living weapons are able to adapt change due to the wielder and their connection to said wielder. The chakram itself is quite strong, but it is able to be broken due to the fact that, someone can break something. The only other thing that the chakram currently has is the spell Telekinesis. You're able to cast Telekinesis once a day until you take a long rest once more, and it recharges.
Okay. That being said, I guess I knew about that before, so yes, I will be up by the podium helping Severus check that out.
Okay. I believe I gave the correct damage pool it would do. Kaithal, go ahead and roll investigation.
Oh, where did it go? Oh, there it is. I couldn't find my cursor on the screen. I'm like, where is it?
Yeah.
Okay. There you
Happens
go.
to me all the time. All right. Not bad all around. Kaithal, if you want to add the damage into your character sheet, it's 3d6 plus 5 slashing damage.
Cool. Thank you very much. 3d6 plus 5. Oh, right there on the bottom. I got you.
Yes.
Thank you.
No problem. Investigating the area and looking around, Tolwyn, you do find a few books here and there that are related to the topic at hand. The history, the lore of this town, who founded it, who constructed it, how long the statue was here, how long the monuments were here, what else is in town in relation to the monuments, and etc., etc. Looking at the podium itself, Cerberus and Kaithal, you are able to investigate it well enough. Without moving the book or without moving it too much of an issue, you can tell the podium itself seems to have a energy flow through it. It doesn't seem to have any patterns to it, but much like when Tolwyn found the giant puzzle in the middle of the woods / cemetery, it does seem to have those weird lines through it. Either it's another puzzle or magic or the flow of magic is seeping through the lines. You got a 12 and a 9, so take your best guess, and it might be somewhere in between.
There you go.
Vera comes over towards this area. Talon and Connie come over here as well. Kaithal and Cerberus, what do you do? Towan basically just begins to read. Towan, go ahead and roll an investigation to look for topics at hand that might be related to current events.
Wait, what did you say to roll? It was
Investigation. Or perception, if you're just skimming through them and spotting them without actually looking through it.
do perception then. So I'm better at that.
Fair. Advantage because Talon's helping you in this case.
14 this time.
Okay, not bad. Service and Kaithal, are you doing anything to the podium?
I'm just going to keep looking around to see if I can find anything else.
Roll another investigation.
Considering what happened with that sigil with petrification, it makes me think that there might be something more.
That's fair. Looking at it and getting the help of Kaithal, you are able to determine that the weird line-structured forms do have a pattern to them. It's not a symbol of design, but it's more like grooves within the world core itself. I'll explain that more later. Kaithal, investigating it, you feel a sensation of energy and magical flow from your own palm into the core of the... it's basically onyx stone, the podium, into the onyx stone itself. You can tell that this podium, whatever it is, seems to be channeling magic of all over into this point. When you tell Cerberus this, Cerberus, you're able to determine that this is what's known as a ley line, where magical flows within the world and around the world, even this very, very current little amount. Cerberus, you know that there used to be a weave in the world that caused basically a lot of people to be able to cast or learn magic, but since, you know, the gods were cut off, that weave has been severed severely. This current point in time, or at least this current podium area, or maybe the podium itself, is a place where these remaining lines flow to. And the grooves in the onyx stone seem to be where and how the magic begins to flow in and around and then distributes back into the world.
I tell everyone this as I figure it out. Maybe this one in particular doesn't hold the same type of secrets that the other two did.
While you say this, and while Tolwyn investigates the book itself, Vera does eventually begin to learn a few things. Talon, you rolled well enough that Vera gets a bonus plus advantage. Looking through this... Yeah, pretty good. Looking through this, she does state... According to context clues, I can determine that the city itself was born of an old battlefield, from what I can tell, of a long since dead war. Various connections, various things fought along these lines, including according to what is written down here, thanks to Tolwyn's findings, the embodiment of life and death itself. The entire area was filled with various forms of energy and function that they've placed themselves here. Not only their energy, but the energy around them. According to what I found, there was one guardian here that decided to continue to allow these emotions, these strongholds and tidings within the very foundation of the world itself, and allow them to spread and continue to move forwards without people necessarily going mad. If the gods weren't, according to the story, if the gods weren't here, then who would shepherd the souls into the next life? Who would allow reincarnation into the world, and who would continue to move forwards? Only a being of love, of strength, and jubilation would be able to even grasp the concepts of both life and death. The concepts of ferrying a soul to the next world and bringing them back to this one. Of both good and evil returning to the world in a cyclical nature. To bring balance. A single angel, a single deity remained. Not a god, but according to this, a deva or diva, I'm not exactly sure, but a very high-level angel remained in this world to allow the concepts of life to continue. Not only them, but other forms of life itself. Ancient dragons, ancient beings, with enough strength, the genie, Janai, various things came together to form a coalition guardians of strength to save the world and to keep it balanced, should it ever topple once more. If I have to guess, these are the things you are finding. And according to what you've told me, these might be the things that are being taken away by these storms.
So if that's the case, do you believe that this Deva has put itself in stasis on purpose so that it can continue to exist as a positive force of love in the world?
If I had to guess, yes. A high being of, if I had to wager, celestial energy is hard to come by, so I suppose in order for it to continue its work, it needed to survive as long as possible. So, in order to do that, I suppose petrifying itself would be the best case. Maybe not allowing its full force to be used, but enough that it would trickle into the world and allow it to continue in its own way and function.
Why does no one know this?
These were all scattered information, all tidbits here and there. Honestly, this was a massive puzzle. Without your current information, I honestly wouldn't be able to piece it together myself.
So, nearly higher beings or beings with great power that randomly decided to come together to do this?
If I had to guess, it was for their own purposes, but from what I can tell, unless you can ask one of them, yes.
In that case, I think it would be in our best interest to not try and unpetrify this being unless the world reaches a point at which we think it's the only recourse.
What
It
about
seems to have done this on purpose.
I agree, but what about the storm that's coming? Should we try getting in contact with the dagger again to tell it about it? Or would it automatically do it by itself?
This is not the first such storm to reach this city, is it?
It is not, but very few Scarlet storms come by here.
Do you know
We
if
could-
any pieces have been missing the few times that they have come?
From what I can tell, not really. Some just come to the outskirts, some small clouds come into the area. Most of the time we isolate and go underground using the Maze Runner system to keep ourselves safe and alive until the storm passes by. If I have to guess, each time they might have been scouring the area, haven't found what they would want or need. It could be the statue, it could be, according to all of you, the podium, it could be the item you all found in the cemetery, or perhaps the puzzle in the cemetery itself. I'm not sure. You would need to ask one of the Scarlet children to define it better than I.
And none of them are really able to tell.
Some of them lose their minds, but then some of them lose that so well that it doubles back and becomes sane, but with an insane thought process. You might be able to speak with some of them, but I would advise caution when being near them.
Indeed, the few times that we have, it wasn't a good fight at all.
I think Kythal and Tolwyn have been here enough. Kythal, Tolwyn, I want you both to go ahead and roll Arcana.
All right, there you go. I suck tonight. Oh man.
Training in Arcana, if that matters.
This is something else.
I have a +6 to that too, so that sucks.
That's fine for me.
Tolwyn, go ahead and roll Arcana. Sorry, Cerberus, this is something else.
I was just making comment about Kaithal.
No. Yeah, you both fail. Which is a good thing in this case.
Oh, good.
It's ironic, but it is a good thing in this case. as you begin to learn the concepts, the very values of the world itself, of things trying to save the world, maybe for their own nefarious means or their own means, either of love, of hate, of value, of death and life, you're not entirely sure. Uh, Reading into this and seeing that a very powerful angel and a very powerful dragon have so far been guardians, that would make sense. And then when Cerberus mentions when you came across the Scarlet Children, yeah, they're very dangerous, but not all of them are. At least not at the start. Some of them, and you've seen some of them, lose their minds and lose their strength of will, of mind. Kython, until when you found one of these, you let one of these
Oh,
rest in peace. You
that
didn't
is
kill
true.
them, rather they died defending what very little mind they had and the world slash town you saved some time back ago. When reading into this and looking through these emotions, you get a sense of warmth, of love, of passion, of strength. And then you remember the gift that they gave you, that gentle smile until they went into the afterlife, a little blessing given to Kythol and Tolwyn. And both of your ACs go up by 1.
Oh, that is very cool.
You're not sure what happened, and you're not sure what caused this, but perhaps some strength within this area gave into this blessing with enough time and power to allow this to activate finally. At a game, you were blessed and it needed a power source. The nexus point is the power source.
That's pretty sweet.
Ah, that is pretty sweet.
That's out of game though. Back in game. You feel strength, love, and rejuvenation, structured strength into your body once more. I still don't know why Talon's AC is 31. I still need to figure that one out. You probably
That's
just put in the
funny.
wrong number. Either way. When looking at this, Vera does state, if you can give me more information from outside the world, I might be able to help you. But right now, this is all we have.
Very interesting.
Thank you, Farah.
Of course. It is now later in the day and pretty late. So do you guys go off and do your studies?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Once again,
First.
there is the potion shop. This area, which will teach you a spell. Kythal, you learn a new trick of your own trade because Connie's there and she can help you learn. There is also the messenger area that will teach you Missy Step if you are able to learn it. And there is the song place that will teach you a resonating sound wave to break into a shell.
I'll do
You can-
Misty Step.
Yeah, you can do 2 without an issue, but if you take a third, you will have to make an acrobatics check to get there in time.
I understand. I'll do a Misty Step, then the song, and then
Okay. Who else goes for Misty Step?
I will go for Misty Step. I can already do it once per day just because I'm the Ladrin, but I would like to learn it more.
I think I was working on that as well, so I'll go with that.
Okay. I think Caden just came to watch last time, so he's going to come to watch again.
And then I would like to work with Connie a little bit later.
All right. Oh, right. I remembered. You guys are already here. After cleaning up the area and making sure no one died, the messengers did warn you about touching anything from this point forwards. You were basically chastised. But eventually, Johnny does come back from his work. Once again, Johnny, a more or less 16 to 18-year-old human male, which is the brother.
I
of the
remember
person-
Johnny.
Which is the person that you were told to talk with, but he left to go give Talon's message out So you're stuck with Johnny, and Johnny's pretty cool. A little rebellious, but pretty cool. Looking at you guys, he does say, "Oh, you're back. Huh. All right. Pretty cool how you, I don't know, got that statue to come to life. You think you can teach me that?"
You don't want to know.
It's a very dangerous act.
All right. All right. I suppose you're here for the tutelage. You did pretty good last time. Kai, I thought you did pretty good last time.
Oh, good. Good to know.
So, I guess the first thing is to look into your mind and temper the intellect within your own spirit and memorize this spell once more. He shows you the symbol. He gets a rock, writes it on top of it. It looks graffitied and it does look well. Showing you it, he tries to get you guys to remember it and memorize it within your own mind. Everyone can go ahead and roll any type of intellect check they believe fits this skill. Mm-hmm. Yeah, everyone passed it with flying colors, like, super easily. I'm going to have Taylor roll his later on, if he decides to. So memorizing this, you are all finally able to functionally learn the spell within your minds. That much has been given to you. Afterwards, he does not channel an energy. He looks towards you and asks one of you to charge the stone with energy once more. Basically expending a first level spell slot.
I'll try.
Oh, okay.
Severus, you expend first level spell slot into the stone, and then he states, "Alright," and just like before, he then chucks it directly towards the statue this time. It flickers out of existence for a quick hot second, and then flickers back at the back end of the statue, and then hits the wall. It kind of dents the wall a little, and then like 10 minutes later, after he gets chastised by, the person that runs the place, he then states, yeah, something like that. You need to funnel in your magic and hone in your skills, and then you need to release it. Most of you got it pretty well last time, so I'm sure you guys can do it. I believe Tolwyn got it last time, and Cerberus got it. So you just need to get it again, and you're good to go. Kaithal, I believe you got it. I'm not sure if Talon did. So anything involving wisdom or something of that nature, you can roll for this check and skill.
I have perception.
Wisdom.
Yeah. Perception can work as well. To try to perceive and focus it.
That'll work for me too then.
And like before, when you guys funneled it last time, each time you do this, the check does go lower. Last time it was 15, so the 13s you've been rolling tonight work well. Focusing in and the energy charging in, you've honed the skills, the energy, and like this rock, you embed the spell into your body. You then hone the magic within, and then using your natural state of mind, release it. And then immediately you flicker out of existence for a quick hot second, and then reappear 5 feet behind you. You've all learned the spell Misty Step.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And tomorrow you can technically refine it, and then tomorrow you would actually have it fully mastered. For now, today, you can only move 5 feet. Johnny then states, "Oh, not bad. Honestly didn't think it might not work since I can't use magic."
You're a good teacher.
I suppose. Looking at his notebook and looking at how he wrote these things down, he took things into detail, into skill, into nature. His brother probably was teaching this stuff, and probably still is. The only problem is Johnny has no affinity with magic, but he really wants to. So you can see passion within there, some strength held within his heart. Maybe not to completely learn it, as he has learned he hasn't learned not to give up. He has learned that he can't do this spell, but he hasn't given up. So the passion behind his strength, his intellect, is there. And, well, looking at him and looking at the statue behind him, yeah, this whole passion love town, it's starting to fit more and more into place.
Hey, Johnny, if you really need an extra boost to help you learn this spell, perhaps going to the library and studying it near the podium might give you an extra boost.
I can give it a shot, I guess. But you guys have all done quite well. Just if anyone you haven't figured it out yet, I'm sure you can teach each other. But yeah, come by if I don't know, you guys aren't busy, whatever you're doing. Like, looks behind him, raising up statues or whatever.
Yeah, I understand. Thank you.
Yeah, cool. Then he heads back to his room.
Nice kid.
Thank you, Johnny.
He waves.
So, do we just know that spell and use a spell slot to cast it, or
You know that
is
spell,
it like
and those of you that already know the spell gain an extra spell slot of that level.
okay? It's not normally one that I can cast, so
Mm-hmm.
Same. So we just expend our normal spell slots.
Mm.
All right, so off to the singer.
All right, I think everyone joined in this time, and you guys are probably already there.
I actually nearly perfected it, I think, myself, and I know one other person did as well.
I think you all did pretty good, but everyone has yet to master it. You need 2 out of 3, and I think one of you got 1. I think 2 of you got 1. I think Talon accidentally got it, and then got a natural 20, but I already said the rolls were done with, so he just got a sea shanty song. Like before, going to this area, learning the skills and learning the strengths. Winry does finish her set, comes down, and then open mic night happens again. You see, well, apparently there are some regulars here. You do see the half-orc sea shanty man step up soon after she steps down. Winry does greet you all and simply states, you're back already. So, most of you did learn the spell, well, the song quite well, resonating with the magic itself. Are you all able to learn once more?
Definitely am.
I apologize in advance for my singing.
It's quite alright. We all need to learn from time to time. And starting from somewhere is better than starting from nowhere. This is just performance. Straight up performance. So everyone can go ahead and roll performance.
All right.
Not bad. Looking at this, you are able to hone in and begin to learn the melody and figure out the song structure. Like beforehand, you all begin to learn, chime, and sing into the depths and howls of this song. Tobin and Cerberus, you do believe that you understand this song and how to fully function with it. And Kaithal, you are able to grasp it a little bit more and a little bit closer. Once more, she finishes the song and you soon finish after. Alright, not bad. Let's see if we can all do it in tune together. Toa and Cerberus, you roll this time with advantage, and Kaithal, go ahead and roll once more.
Got it.
25.
Service and Tolwyn, you are able to fully understand this song. It comes not natural to you, but you begin to realize this. Tolwyn, with your own voice, maybe you don't get the high notes, but you definitely get the low notes. And with Cerberus's own medium-pitched voice, he is able to grasp the notes that you aren't fully able to attend to. So you are able to fully function as a duo. Talon also helping and maybe dancing in the background. We'll figure that one out later. Kaithal, you are able to grasp it, but you're not quite there. So Winry does state, all right, you're getting it closer, but not quite there, Sir Kaithal, but you are close. Toward and Service, I believe I have nothing more to teach you. So long as you continue to practice and you perform well, you will be able to resonate with the sound pattern you gave me.
Thank you so much. I definitely would not have been able to do this without your tutelage.
Of course.
Thank you very much, Lady Winry.
Anytime.
I agree with Tolwyn. I've never been able to be so successful without your aid.
Looking towards Kaithal. Now then, we will try once more for tonight. Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. Kaithal, go ahead and roll. Yeah. Kaithal, learning from the mistakes, learning from the chips and bruises they've faced, you begin to focus in and learn the song. It begins to go from low to high and then pitch high and then very, very low. You're able to get the ranges quite well and you're able to learn it and grasp onto it. Quite well done. It seems that you've learned from your friends here as well. So long as you practice it tomorrow, you should not have an issue. But I believe I've taught you all that I could. Well, all this song has to offer. If any of you would like to learn new songs, well, just let me know the tune you decide to pick up.
I will definitely keep that in mind.
Of course.
Actually, I do have one thought in mind, if you would be so willing to consider.
I suppose. Kaithal, Cerberus, and Tolwyn, Talon, maybe. You all now know the resonating pattern to hit the notes that you guys gave last time. So you're able to match the waves. If it's the same wave, you should be able to walk through the crystal once more if you get to the core.
If we sing in unison, we might reduce the DC.
Lower than if you just sing singularly, yeah. But Winry does state, depends on what it is.
We came across just recently, Tolwyn, if you could describe to her that powerful emotion of love and compassion. We came across it. Maybe you can invent a new song based upon that emotion. And it's just a weird thought that came to mind.
If you need inspiration, the statue of an angel in the hall of the runners would be an excellent subject.
Oh, I'll look into it, I suppose. Thank you for this information.
You're very welcome. We hope that it would help broaden your horizons and grant you greater depth in your future endeavor.
I suppose it might. Well then, it is getting rather late, so unless you intend to do something else, I would suggest some rest. That being the case, does anyone try to attempt to do something else tonight?
I do. I try to learn the potions.
Okay.
And I'm
yes.
And I'm gonna try to work with Connie.
Okay. Both of you go ahead and roll acrobatics to run over there. Cerberus, I think you rolled natural 20 last
time. Dang it. I tripped.
You ran halfway and then got very tired. By the time you got to the library, it kind of closed down.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go to bed then.
Yeah. I mean, you can always go there tomorrow, evening. You don't have to do it tonight. They might be doing something now, which means you won't be able to catch them until tomorrow. But coming back, Sony and Rebecca do state, once more, you arrived just before we were about to close. Are you ready?
Very much so.
All right. Rebecca gets the material once more. As beforehand, she has already done her studies and skills. All right, then. This does require medicine practice to make sure you're able to make the residue just fine. You were able to do it just fine last time, so I'm sure you have no problem with that. Cerberus, you did roll well. I think you rolled 2 out of 3 last time, so you're good to go on the medicine check. So when preserving and meshing the more or less meal to a liquidized state, you're able to do so without too much of an issue. And it is able to be meshed that way just fine. When you put it into a bottle and then he tells you, now then, in order to make sure it's preserved, you need to focus in and hone in magical properties into it to allow it to steadily stay until opened. To do so, you must focus in on your magic and embed it into it to allow a still form to it. Cerberus, go ahead and roll Arcana. Or other intelligence skills. Yeah. It's ironic that you didn't pass Arcana last time, but you got a medicine. Huh? Focusing on your magic and focusing, something that keeps saying phoning in, and funneling in the magical properties of your own and causing the material to go still rather than decay or break apart after some time. It is able to be complete and stay that way for quite some time. Maybe not forever, but definitely, I don't know, a month, give or take. You cork it, and then he looks and examines it. You're getting quite good at this. Now the last one will be a practice. If you're able to complete this, you should have the skill set to make healing potions of your own, provided you have the material. Rebecca then gives you the material again, and this time the DC to beat, which is Medicine and Arcana, is 10. A flat 10.
You want me to use Arcana or my alchemist supplies?
Alchemist / Medicine first, and then Arcana. It's a flat 10, so you're fine. And then Arcana. Yeah. With the material in hand and learning the skills that you've just learned last night and tonight, after a few good moments, you are able to grind the liquid, turn it into liquid, then focusing your magic to funnel in a still point of the newfound potion, and examining it, he does state, well done. It took some time. Rebecca was able to do it in a night, but you're the second fastest I've taught so far, so that's quite impressive. So long as they have the material, you are able to use and create your own health potions. At the start, minor ones, but perhaps with some knowledge and practice, even greater ones. But I'm afraid I don't really have that kind of time, as the storm will be following the day after tomorrow.
I understand. Do you know where I can get further knowledge?
I do have a few medical books I can lend to you if you intend to stay for some time. Other than that, you might be able to acquire some by purchasing them from this shop or going to the library and perhaps giving a small donation.
I'll definitely have to take a look-see tomorrow then. Thank you for your help.
Of course. Unfortunately, we do have to close in for the night. Rebecca begins to clean up the area as beforehand. Unfortunately, this is after hours, so they can't technically sell you anything right now.
Thank you, Rebecca, for your help and your friendship during this time.
Of
I look
course.
forward to seeing you again. I guess when I get back to the tavern, I will just drink, eat, and flirt with Lana, like I did last time.
Like last time, Tannen and Tolwyn and Kython get drunk. Cerberus flirts with the owner of the bar. Eventually, unless you guys intend to do something tonight, tomorrow happens.
Nothing else for me.
Yeah, nothing for me.
Unless Lana is willing to have a night of passion, then nothing for me.
Cerberus, roll persuasion.
Come on, I'm gonna give him guidance. I don't know if that helps at all, but I'm tapping him on his shoulder. There you go, bud.
So 17. Thank you.
After flirting for some time and after a few hours of, winking, suggestive play, and then talking about having a great night before the cold sets in, making sure each other's beds are warm, Lana picks up what you're putting down. You definitely do have a fun night, Cerberus. Whether that'll continue after tonight, we'll figure that one out probably later, maybe never. You do enjoy yourself. Lana is very fiery under the sheets. That being
for that, sure,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. That being the case, though, she knows that you're a traveler. She gets them all the time because she, runs the bar. If you decide to make this a relationship, you're more than welcome to. But Lana understands that this could be a one-night thing because, after all, you're just people that are traveling by. You know, this might be a yearly thing, a monthly thing. She did enjoy it, and you yourself did enjoy it. But you close the door and you don't allow for a while Talon, Kythel, and Tolwyn to go to sleep until like I want to say 2 a.m. in the morning. And then everyone is eventually able to take a long rest. Waking up soon after, you all are able to get into the bar without too much of an issue. You slept here, some more than others. And then Lana has already prepared a meal for you. Lana has already prepared a meal for your group. Winks at service and continues to, do her work.
Wink back. Boy, I had a fun night last night.
I had a very restful one.
I am very tired, but as long as you had fun, my friend, that's all that matters.
Maybe you should get a pick-me-up, a little bit of this pepper here in your drink, which should help you out.
All
I
right,
suppose
thank you.
service spiked your drink.
I'm offering it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna take some anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it's still considered spiking your drink. It just means you are aware of it. Kythel, get a nice Irish coffee. It's enjoyable. It's very nice. Little pep in your step,
Nice.
but you're still a little tired. Your body's fatigued, but your mind's raring to go.
I'm ready to go now. I got my Irish coffee.
And an entire... Wow, I didn't know it worked so well that you get an entire accent change. I have to write that down.
Ah, yes. That happens every time.
You guys have today as a free day until tomorrow when the storm approaches. As some of you maybe look out the window, you can tell that there's a storm on the horizon. It won't be here today, but it will be here tomorrow. Earliest guess, tomorrow morning. And there are red shots of lightning in the storm itself, which indicates, yeah, this is a Scarlet storm.
Alright, so we have this day. How much time do we need to practice our stuff until we know it's mastered?
Honestly, as long as you say we practice in the between times, like right now, you can say it right now, you'll have time.
Yeah, we practice in between times.
Yep.
All right. In between times of other things you do, you are able to fully master everything. Cerberus, Tolwyn, Kythel, you all fully master the Misty Step spell. If you don't have it, you have it now. If you've already had it, you gain one spell slot of that level. So I believe, Kythel, you gain one spell slot of that level.
Cool.
And treatment as well.
Yes. If he rolls well. That being the case, though. Beginning to warm up the day with a nice medley of the song. I swear I'm saying that word wrong because I'm pretty sure I'm meaning food when I say it. Anyways, when you begin to sing, you are able to hone your skill to the point that you are able to sing the song without too much of an issue. You are able to now resonate with that song pattern that Kythel has, like on a small mechanical box that he recorded last time. So you are able to focus in on that one. As long as you, like beforehand, figure out the fluctuation beforehand, and if it is the same one, you are able to walk through it without too much of an issue. Well, you'll still need to roll, but it'll be super low compared to almost dying when one of you did not make it through last time. I think it was Talon, but it really, really hurt. And Cerberus, since you were the only one that went to the magic shop, you are able to make small health potions so long as you have the items. You can buy the items, of course, and it'll be cheaper than making it yourself. Than buying the potion yourself.
I also have a bottle of protection from cold.
Yes, which will probably help. I thought you had a potion of protection from elements.
Yeah, you said it was cold, right?
Did I?
With all protection of element potions are just one element, not all.
If I did, I guess I wrote this wrong. I just have here that I gave you a potion of resistance to elemental damage.
Well
I
then,
could be wrong.
I'll just take the one that does everything then. That's fine.
I should have made you pay for it more. Oh well, live and learn.
So guys, we managed to get everything. We have this one last day. Do you think, what should we do now? Any further preparations? I'm not sure what else we could do or get. Should we look around the shops to see if there's anything? Maybe warn people? Maybe go ahead and have them start evacuating down under?
When you ask that, I'm gonna say a random standby. This person wanders around when you say, "Should we start telling people, warning people, and have them evacuate?" He looks towards you and does state, "You know we have a system set in place for the storms, right? We have the Maze
Yeah.
Runner system underground."
Yes, it was more like, we've experienced some of the storms with the red lightning before. We were wondering if perhaps we should go ahead and encourage everyone to go down sooner rather than later.
I mean, we go in as soon as we spot the storm, sometime in a few hours. Everyone's gathering their things, and by tonight, we'll be heading downwards before the storm even approaches us.
I guess I'm just being overly cautious. It's kind of a bit of my nature.
That's fair to say. You new in town?
Yes, we've been here for a couple of days, but this is our first time visiting.
No, makes sense. Well, welcome. More than welcome to come down with us if you'd like. They do give you details on the opening to the Maze Runner system, so you now have it, just in case you need it.
Thank you.
They also tell you that the opening is currently not accessible, which means that whoever opens it has not opened it yet.
Well, I guess perhaps warning everyone to evacuate sooner is probably not a good idea. Oh well. Well, what do you guys think we should do? I'm not sure what we can do.
I do need to speak to Connie at some point, but after that, I have no plans until the storm comes.
Neither do I. I'm not sure. Maybe we can put the lightning pole down somewhere, but where will we even put it down at? Oh, and have we even gotten our message back yet?
You will be getting the message today. Tolwyn, you were saying.
We could see if we are able to communicate with that guardian angel and at least let it know what's going on and maybe see what it thinks about the Deva. But
I think that is a pretty good idea.
Yeah, I think we should try, but I don't have high hopes it's going to want to talk to us. It seems fairly single-minded.
It did seem
I believe so as well. I also think that putting the lightning rod in the ground, maybe outside of that temple, might be a good idea if the lightning really is looking for the statue or the angel.
Well, you don't really know what it's looking for, but it could be a possibility.
Right.
What the last one we know of went after and got the fountain of youth or life from before. That's the only one we really know of.
And the one before that, you were able to stop the storm before it fully entered into town.
Don't know what it was after.
So, speaking with Connie first, and then hovering over to the angel dagger, maybe the statue as well, to figure out or at least ask them, "Hey, how you doing?" And then putting a stick down to make sure that the lightning doesn't hit the runner's basic house. One thing does stand true. You guys have learned some skills and are ready to take action. And by tomorrow, you'll have it. Whether or not you'll survive, well, we'll just have to figure that one out next time, as we end the session for today.